Welcome all my friends of the YouTubes into another video. Appreciate you being here. This is another episode of Journal Entry, and it's an opportunity for me to kind of look back on the previous week, my brick life, my real life, and then, just kind of like talk about some stuff to come. So first, before we kick this episode off, big shouts out this week to Builder Buds, Slippery Brooks, Will Harper. I kind of feel like it's the usual shout outs. So thanks guys for all the commentary. And actually, even for Builder Buds last week, I reached out and we almost met in person. So too bad it was, we were hours away from, I made my way to Kansas, which is in the land of Builder Buds, and I missed out. So sorry we couldn't make that happen. We'll get to why maybe a little bit later in the episode. So looking back, last week's content, it was a pretty good week. Again, I think I talked about last week being a little bit slow. This week is going to be fairly slow, although it depends, because maybe I have yet another Mercari haul coming, and it's been delayed, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to review it or do anything about it this week. So that's TBD. If I can find my words. But last week was a lot of non-Lego because I'm cleaning things out. Still have a long ways to go to kind of get things in order. And I'm going to have to accelerate the process here pretty soon. But I did a Halo set. I did a non-Lego, what I call janky Lego. It's kind of a new official term, janky Lego. And then did not a review, but some different build, more vlog type stuff of just me building and kind of ranting, I guess, in a way, or just kind of like talking. So that was pretty fun. And then this week is fairly short because I was traveling all last week. So the content's going to be a little light this next week. Bear with me. Things will kind of ramp back up. Because again, it's building season. And here we go. The Packers this week. So Builder Buds, I think, did Kansas win? I forget. I should probably have looked that up, but the Packers won this week, and then, and I believe, let's see, the NFL scores. I should probably have this all prepared. No, the Chiefs lost to the Colts. What the heck? What the heck, man? So now the Chiefs are down to 2-1, so just a comeback drive, lost that one. I know the Bears pulled it out. The Packers won. I think the Vikings beat the Lions. I thought the Lions were going to win that one, so I guess they're back to their old bag of tricks. Ravens with a big win. So, yeah, that was a pretty good week overall. So the Monday night game will be, let's see, who's left? Cowboys and Giants. So that should be interesting. 1-1 and 2-1. So if the Giants win, they're in dominant position. 3-0, which you wouldn't really think. And if the Cowboys win, then they're kind of getting back on track. So, anyways, so again, appreciate everybody their patience as we kind of get into building season. There's going to be a lot to come, but I'm going to have a lot of distractions around the house, and I think I've talked about some of that. One last piece of content from last week was Ben Brick's designs. I published the review for the Punishing One, which is a great macro fighter. So I'm gonna have to kind of put that into my collection somewhere. I put all my microfighters over in here, so I've got a whole bucket load of microfighters, and I'm excited to see if there's an official announcement over the coming month or two for the Slave 1 microfighter. That's been one that I think the whole, really a Jango Fett Slave 1, or the Boba Fett Slave 1 would have been great inclusions, going in. I think people are clamoring for both. Probably the only other big thing that's happening, and again, I've been kind of an ongoing theme, but I've been putting a lot of work as I kind of cleaning things out. I'm starting to list, and I have an official Journal of the Scots Mercari store. So check it out in the description if you haven't done Mercari, either buying or selling. I highly recommend it, although I don't want to compete against you. Keep prices fairly low, but I use it to buy, Lego that I missed out on. So whether it's, battle packs, advent calendars, figures, there's mainly figures that I missed out on. But so if there's sets or figures that you missed out on, sell stuff around the house. You can get coupons right now. There's coupons for using my link. They also have a listing contest right now that just started this weekend, where if you list 10 items, you get $5. 20 items, you get $10. And if you list 30 items, you get $20 towards a purchase of 50 or more. You have to use it pretty quick, but I have a feeling I'd have no problem just doing that. So Mercari's been good, and I think I've got 28 listings right now. So I think under the coupon, I've got 8 or 9 I just listed this weekend. So I did a few. I got to get to 10 to get that initial coupon. But I'd like to get to 30 would be nice. Because there's definitely a few sets over 50 that would be nice to grab with a deal. And as long as I can sell it and get the credit for it quickly, because I think you have up to 7 days. So if I could sell it, list it and sell it, and then this next week and get some sales, that'd be really nice to use my credit and a coupon to knock out a set that maybe was expensive and overpriced, but I can help complete out my collection. So that's about it. Let's see. We talked about Mercari, Packers winning. Oh, I finally watched the Andor series, which I thought was great. What I liked about it is that it didn't, got out of its way to do weird cameos or anything like that. It's its own story, and I thought it was interesting. It was definitely dark, different. The pacing was slow. I see why they did 3, because it almost felt like part 1 of a movie. If they would have maybe gone into a little bit more detail, you could have made it into a 2-hour movie, frankly. So it's pretty interesting. I think it'll really ramp up as we go. It feels like it's headed towards space. So there's going to be some, TIE fighters, and there should be some resistance ships getting involved in our. So it's definitely a lot more action as we go. So that should be a lot of fun. And then I talked about I did a big business trip last week, so I'm pretty exhausted. My voice is still kind of gone, which is pretty funny. And then out of nowhere, and I'll have to do a complete different video and an introduction, but we added a new member of the family this week, so that was really exciting. I know I've had a couple depressive videos. If you look back at my journal entries, you'll see why, but at the end of the day, we saw a dog that we really liked for the right price. It was all the way in Kansas, so literally at 4:00 on a Friday, I just decided to drive to Kansas randomly, and shout out to my Aunt Barb. She was able to put me up overnight. She lives just out in Indianola, just outside of Des Moines, and we were able to stay there and then finish the trip. And then I drove him all the way back with my son. So really the big thing with that trip, and I'll get into a little bit more details, but it was a great father-son bonding trip. It was a great trip to add to the family member. I feel like it was important to even though I still wanted maybe another 3-4 months of a break of not having a dog, since Pudge, but I feel like at the same time I was feeling that the family needed a new member and needed to keep that spiritual energy going. So it's a pretty big deal, and it's going to be a lot of work, and in fact right now he's in the other room. I may have to do a lot more editing if he's barking or causing any commotions and stuff like that, but so far he's been a good little guy, and I can fully say that most of you will probably want to see him and not me in these videos. So with that, that's all from last week. It was a a tiring week. Did not a ton of Lego, really almost no building, which is a bummer. We got to get back to building. But there's, cute doggies that are getting in the way. So, that's not so bad. So thank you so much for a lot of new members joining. Thank you again. I appreciate all of your support. Liking, subscribing really helps out the channel. It's much appreciated. And we'll catch you in the next journal entry. Bye for now.